Less than 40% of Americans approved of President Biden's handling of the U.S. military withdrawal from Afghanistan. 49% said the U.S. military should stay in Afghanistan until all American citizens and Afghan allies have been evacuated. When asked which party has a better plan for handling the war on terror, 29% said Republicans, while 26% said Democrats, giving the Republicans a 3-point edge. 4 years ago, ahead of the 2018 midterms, Republicans had a 7-point advantage over Democrats with the same question. 10% mostly blamed former President George W. Bush, who ordered the invasion of the country 2 decades ago, and 9% blamed former President Donald Trump, who last year negotiated the swift withdrawal of the U.S. forces. Under the 2020 withdrawal agreement, Donald Trump began to sharply reduce troop levels to the point by the time Joe Biden took office in January, there were only about 3,500 left in Afghanistan, from a one-time peak of 100,000 at the war's zenith. Another 30% blamed a slew of other actors in the region, including the Taliban, the Afghan military, the U.S. military leaders, and the ISIS Khorasan, the terror group that claimed responsibility for last week's bombing at the Kabul airport. Washington has said that it will now explore diplomatic options to evacuate the remaining Americans and the many thousands of eligible Afghans who did not make it out of the country. 2 decades after it invaded Afghanistan following the September 11, 2001 terror attacks, the United States has now completed the withdrawal of its military forces from Afghanistan. The U.S. and its allies have flown out more than 122,000 people since the 14th of August, including their own citizens and Afghans who helped them over the 20 years of the war. And for more on these developments, our correspondent Susan Teherani joining us from New York. Susan, many have argued this cannot be called a withdrawal. America has fled. At this point, we're talking about Americans who are still on Afghan soil, as well as Afghans who helped America in this war, who have been left behind. It has been a hasty withdrawal, and the poll numbers show that many disapprove of the way in which this entire withdrawal was handled.
Yeah, Molly, I think that's the central tenet of this entire debacle that we've seen really in the last 2 weeks unfold. It wasn't really the withdrawal that was in question. It was the manner that the Biden administration really pushed for and insisted on coming out of Afghanistan, leaving the situation that we're in right now, culminating to a full Afghanistan that is in Taliban control right now, just 10 days to September 11th, the 20th anniversary of those heinous crimes. And on the other side of the world, ironically, you see a Taliban flag being hoisted above Afghanistan. So no doubt extremely disapproves of the manner of troop withdrawal, with the optics, with the reports coming out of Afghanistan and the contradictions that we heard from the Biden administration in Washington. But also what happened and the assurances that we saw coming out of Washington that Americans wouldn't get hurt, and then the Kabul incident. So a lot happened in the last few days and the last couple of weeks for Americans to digest. And now we are at a point where the president has to go behind the podium and sort of present to the American people, which probably will be a victory lap for him. At least he'll try to present that and sort of give this speech that will signal that America is finally out and he was able to bring America home and withdraw from Afghanistan, something that his predecessors weren't able to do.
Right. Susan Teherani, we're leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much for that update. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.